This message is for any Asian MAGA out there. We're next. We're next.
In Georgia, this has been the biggest raid of ICE reported thus far in 2025, is nearly 500 Korean workers that have gotten arrested at a Hyundai battery plant. Now, I wanted to ask a few people because I know that this has been affecting people in Koreatown because workers aren't coming to work anymore, because people are scared, businesses are unable to operate, and it is going to really cause a lot of economic stress on our community here. Do you feel like you've heard of more and more ICE raids in the Asian American community since the beginning of January?
I know there's fear everywhere, even in churches. Supposedly safe haven for immigrants, but then a lot of churchgoers are not showing up because of the fear.
Now, one of racism's favorite costumes to wear in this country is rescue. And what that white woman in Georgia did to them South Koreans at that Hyundai facility yesterday is a prime example. Let's rewind. Yesterday, a white woman bragged online that she tipped off ICE about South Korean workers at Hyundai's Georgia manufacturing sites. Now, her defense to why she says she did this, and I'm going to play the video of her stating this, was because she wanted to help them. It was for their betterment. And her follow-up video, which I feel is her real reason, is because she felt like Georgians, people that look like her, were not being hired to work in those facilities.
So there were 452 illegals apprehended at the Hyundai mega plant construction site yesterday near Savannah. And I was the one that reported the information that I had to ICE. But it goes beyond just someone working illegally. Let me explain to you. These people are working for slave wages. Some are not getting paid. Some are being trafficked. They send money home to their country. They give money to their handler. They have hardly anything left. They live in homes 5 families deep, have no quality of life. It's modern day slavery. So if you think that ICE is just going in and ripping people out of their jobs, these hardworking people that want a better life, well, guess what? Politicians have really screwed these people, because when they came here, they thought they were, hey, the border's open, we're coming in, we're going to get the 5-star treatment, and we can go to the big Walmart, and we can live in a 5-star hotel, and that's just not how it is. It's very bad conditions, very inhumane, and the Biden administration started a humanitarian crisis. So y'all can't just look at it like they're ripping good people off the job. They're probably saving their lives in the long run. The only people that are mad about this raid in Ellaville, Georgia at the Hyundai mega site are probably people that don't pay taxes, because in 2022, when they signed the agreement to bring that plant here and build it, they were given $32 million in tax breaks to employ Georgians, and they didn't. The Georgians never were hired temp to permanent. They had more of the people apprehended yesterday were Korean. They either were here illegally, overstayed their visas, or it was illegals working for the contractors and on the site. So they got all these tax cuts and never created jobs for Georgians.
Now, yes, I understand that the workers in Georgia are Korean, but I want to bring up the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 because it's one of the clearest examples of how Asian immigrant labor has also historically been scapegoated in this country. This was the first major U.S. law to ban immigration based on race and nationality. White workers then also claimed, oh, these Asian immigrants are stealing our jobs and they're driving down wages. Politicians back then framed the ban as protecting American laborers. But here's the truth. Asian immigrants were doing dangerous, low-paid work that white workers often refused, like building railroads or working in mines. So fast forward, in the United States, Georgia, in 2025, a white woman uses the same script, but it's that she calls ICE and says she's helping South Korean workers. But what she's really saying is, I don't like that these jobs aren't going to people that look like me. That's resentment dressed up as rescue. And it's all connected. Y'all are calling ICE on immigrants, marginalized people, to get them out of here for jobs that y'all aren't even qualified to do in the first place, or y'all have historically been refusing to do at all. At all. Only thing that she was looking to protect was white power and white privilege.
Hi guys, welcome to yet another video. Oh my god, I'm in nature and I see monkeys. I'm with my friends. Hi. Hello. Hi. Guys, welcome to the channel. It's Ndagire here. Thanks for clicking on today's video. They're still staring at me. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about how 400 and something Koreans were literally raided by ICE in a factory. There's another friend right here staring. Hi. Hi. Hey, why are you running? Say hi. That's fun. So, as I was saying, I've been sharing a lot of videos where people of color, especially when it comes to like Asians, every time there is like issues when it comes to especially black people or things that really affect like minority groups in America, these people act like they are not in existence. And so now that we are seeing this government does not really care about anyone else but a palmed person, now they are starting to see, hey, actually, we should be speaking out when it comes to every situation that affects black people or people of color. Because, I mean, in this day and age, we are not seen as any different, literally. Because when Trump puts up policies and says, I do not want to see specific groups of people in this country, you guys as Asians, you are also part of the minority group.
This message is for any Asian MAGA out there. We're next. I want to remind you that we are closer to the undocumented immigrants that are being deported right now than we are to them. We have more in common to the undocumented immigrants than we do to them. You remember how quickly MAGA turned on us during COVID, and it didn't matter if you were Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, Japanese, Filipinos. To them, we were just chinks responsible for the China flu. It is foolish and frankly embarrassing that you think just because you wear the red hat that you're going to be spared when your time comes. This country is never going to be pure enough or white enough, and they are never going to accept you the way that you accept them. They have forgotten that they too have immigrants' blood in them, but let us not forget the crazy, difficult journey our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents took to get here, to escape their country for a chance of a better life. This is not it. Everybody deserves that chance.
So now that they are raided, I guess now they are going to be coming in and wanting to associate with the black community.
And what is quite more interesting is that it's a white woman that actually tipped ICE on this factory because, of course, they do not want to see people that do not look like them in places, which is also like really funny to me because these jobs that they are calling ICE on to these people, they do not even want to take them on. Like white people are not taking on these jobs. So that clearly shows you it's not even about jobs at this point or immigration. It's just about racism. They just don't want to see people that look like a specific kind of breed in that place. I'm sorry to use breed, but like we can clearly see what's going on. But then again, also, I think, Asians are now feeling saved because a white woman, called ICE to save them because they were not paid well. So yeah, she became a savior to them. So they are going to be deported and, taken away from America. So that's clearly making America great again. And to those that, thought this is not something that concerns them as Asians, here we are. They are getting saved by white people by calling ICE onto them. So I think they now see how white they look in the eyes of white people, if that makes sense. But I mean, as I said,
every time there's an issue, these people are quiet. It's just insane. But yeah, guys, listen to what is going on and what other people have to say about this. Of course, it's not a good thing. If the government is saying that you want to take away illegals, why go to a factory where people are working and doing something to improve on the economy? Why raid people that are working? And this is the same government that has been complaining that there's no workers to work in like farms, to work in spaces. So why now go and still invade people that are actually working? It doesn't make sense. But hey guys, like I said, listen to what people are saying about this whole saga, how this happened. Come back, let me know your thoughts on it.
He is going to piss every single world leader off, and he is going to isolate the U.S. from the rest of the world even further. This Hyundai plant raid in Georgia is going to spark chaos here in the U.S. They detained nearly 500 workers, and around 300 of them are South Korean nationals, not criminals. A lot of them are here on training visas legally for Hyundai's multi-billion-dollar investment in Georgia. This is the biggest foreign investment project in Georgia's history, and the US government just brought it to a halt. There are a few reasons why this is dangerous. First, diplomatic fallout. South Korea isn't just some random country. They're one of America's allies. They're pissed. They've already sent diplomats to help their people. So messing with this relationship could screw trade, military cooperation, and future deals. Second, the money, the investment. Hyundai and LG is dropping billions into the US EV production. If they start thinking their workers aren't safe here, do you think they're going to continue to invest? Nope. They'll take their project elsewhere. Communities in Georgia is going to lose out big time. And third, trust in the system. Some people are here legally. If having the right visas doesn't protect you from being dragged off in a raid, what does it say to America's credibility? Who's going to want to come here for work or business? Just remember, this is Trump's America. These raids aren't about criminals. They're about rounding up anyone who isn't white. And if they can sweep up people who are here legally, what's going to stop them from sweeping up anyone they want? Just ask yourself, is this how you make America strong, or is this how you tear it apart from the inside?
So Koreans are actually one of the most racist people on this planet. It's actually crazy. And I look like a Southeast Asian, right? So whenever I go back to Korea and I hear these derogatory terms, I'm just like, what the actual fuck? But on the flip side, Koreans also idealize white people like crazy amounts. There's literally a saying in Korean called pengmatanda, which refers to riding a white horse, which is a euphemism for sleeping with a white person, right? And to be honest, Korea's never really been that multicultural of a country, right? So like fair. However, because of like media and Western influences, like every Korean just wants to become pale and white. To be honest, like if you want to look pale, if you want to look white, I mean, it's completely up to you, right? So I'm not going to judge you for that. It's your choice. But like, at least don't be racist to people that don't look white.
So y'all, apparently ICE is not just looking for black and brown people. They just had the largest single site raid in ICE's 22-year history, and they were looking for South Koreans. Child, if you don't know, so Hyundai makes electric vehicles, and their largest manufacturing plant is right outside of Savannah, Georgia. It's where they make the batteries. Y'all, ICE has been apparently researching this and investigating for months, and went today as a collaborative effort. They had everybody there, y'all. They had the FBI, DEA, ATF, Georgia State Patrol. Of course, ICE was there. I might be missing somebody, but it was all hands on deck. And honestly, when I think about it, with having that many agencies makes me think that there might be a rabbit hole here. There's got to be a little something more to the story. Anywho, the people that were there, they arrested 475 people. Huge. Most of them were from South Korea. They were people who were on visa waivers, so they were not supposed to be working in the U.S., people who had overstayed their visa, and people who were just here illegally. Y'all, they were checking the people's documents on site and rounding the people up. They have the people housed somewhere here in Georgia. I'm not sure exactly where. And they said local news has been reporting about this for over a year because previous employees had been calling to report it. So I guess people were mad that the South Koreans came and took their jobs. The funniest thing to me, y'all, when I was trying to research this, you know who's talking about it the most? Hispanics.
A Hyundai plant in Savannah, Georgia was just raided by ICE. They detained about 500 people, and over 300 of them were Korean nationals. Like, this is major. So a couple months ago, when China, Japan, and Korea had a little meeting, and we were all just like, that is wild, given the history. Like, the Korean government, like, they are not going to be happy about this. And this is just like another pebble in the pail toward perhaps Korea pushing against U.S. military occupation. Because it's interesting, like growing up Korean in America, like we're fed this lie about the U.S. in Korea, how like the U.S. like liberated us. But when you actually look at the history, baby, it's like so far from the truth. I don't know. Also, I miss 101, wearing my 101 t-shirt today. This was never about immigrating here legally because all these Korean nationals were here legally, working, building infrastructure for the U.S. on American soil. And if they can be detained, if you're Korean living in the United States right now and you don't think that this has anything to do with you or you're not bothered by this, baby, you better gird your loins.
Hyundai has been building a new factory here, and what happens? ICE comes and arrests and harass the workers there and then detains some of them and deports them. And what's Chunky Milk's response?
ICE was just doing its job.
So Chunky Milk has constantly said that all these countries are bringing their factories from overseas to come here so they don't have to pay tariffs, and it creates jobs for Americans. But why would countries send their workers here to build a factory if their workers are then going to be harassed and detained by ICE.
But I know nothing about the instance.
You're asking people to come build factories here, but then you're arresting the people as they're building the factories? What kind of incentive is that?
I don't know anything about it. No.
A tariff is nothing when your workers are going to get arrested. Weyland-Yutani could not be more evil. What do you mean that people would come here and build a factory so that way they don't have to be paying tariffs, which are supposed to improve the economy, but then when they come here to build the factory, you arrest them?
As you've seen in the video, that is what people had to say. Of course, people are at peace. People are questioning themselves. This government that keeps on saying people are illegal or they are going after illegals. Why, like I asked, why go to a factory where people are working? Is it because this government has issues with the Korean government? But does that have to come in and affect people? Like, make it make sense. It just doesn't. Also, like I said, this is the time where the Asian community needs to understand every situation, everything that happens in America affects them too, especially if it is something to affect people of color, black people, because somehow they think they are calm people, which doesn't make sense to me. Because if you guys thought you are close to, them people, this would not be happening. Literally, this will not be happening. You would not be working and then this government sends people to come in and take you down if you thought you are palm people. Because you can't tell me there's no illegal palm people in that place, but I've not seen, nobody has seen videos of other palm people from other places of this planet being raided. It's been people from Africa, it's been people from the Caribbean, it's been now Asian community. There's no palm person that has been attacked. No one, even when they go to protest, police is nowhere to be seen. Like, it's just like they are relaxing and it's just like a leisure time for them. So that should really open a lot of eyes of Asian people that they are not palm people. The same way Mexicans, Latinos, really got their wake-up call when it started going sideways. Because even if you looked like them as you thought in your head, they do not see you as them. But even when, let's say the Latinos, Africans have been crying, Asians have been silent. And I remember I shared a video of some Chinese man that was like, oh, we Chinese, or like we, the Asian community, we support like Trump, we support ICE, getting criminals and all those things. Now it's his community, that is being affected. So what does he have to say about that?
Black people don't understand. Asian people,
listen to him.
We support the country. We support, the betterment of the country. We support that. Mm-hmm. So what is there to say? What is there to say? We support the deportations of illegals. It is honestly tiring because here's the thing. We want the country to be better. We want the country to be better. We want the country to, if you did it legally, if you stand in line, if you paid the price, right? You paid the money and all that, you did all the process, the paperwork, all the stuff, which usually most Asian people do. Why would we care about someone jumping in line, crossing the border and all this stuff? Why should we, be happy about that?
What does he really have to say about that? Because, when they see other people being oppressed, especially like, people that look like me, they're like, yeah, they deserve it. But then now it has come into their house. Pretty much sure, like I said, we're going to see a lot of them now trying so much to kind of put the blame on black people or call the black community to help them out, which, like I said, doesn't make sense to me. So if this does not open eyes of Asian people in general, that they are not palmed and they should know where to stick themselves or who to align with, it's gonna be messy. Because remember, black people, African Americans, black Americans can never be deported. So that should stick in their minds as well. Everything this government has been trying to do to like affect black people, it has not worked because my people are silent. The other groups of people that thought every situation is going to affect black people are the ones that are constantly crying on these social media streets. And I don't know if people even feel sorry about it. But yeah, guys, I'm showing you a bit of my nature right here. But yeah, that is it for me in today's video. Sorry about the noise, but I mean, it's relaxing. Yeah, that is it for me in today's video. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. I mean, Who's next? Literally, who's next? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they will, start also going after themselves. There are people from Europe that are actually also illegal in America. Hopefully, who knows? But I'm 5% on that situation happening. I don't think it's gonna happen. But that's my opinion. Yeah, guys, that is it for me today's video. Thanks for watching. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm always posting. I will see you guys in another video. Bye.